Good morning, Rabbi Yisai. LeAliyat Nishmat Chaim Elefant. Sim in Chicago is happening not this Thursday, but a week from today. We have close to 100 people signed up already. 15, 16 people flying in. Gewaldige stuff. Also, I want to remind the Olam that Ya'akov from B3 Bikes is sponsoring a $500 bike for the guys that take the Kahoot. Gotta remind the Olam. Yesterday, Paris Chaim Levin gave $200 towards Kahoot. The Olam, within they're giving Ishkoyach. There was a beautiful status by Osneal, famous Osneal from Lakewood. He asked me a very tough question, and I'm bringing this up because of the following video that made me cringe. You guys are gonna laugh, but there's something to this question, and I answered him, I thought, pretty well. Basically, he said, why is MDY like a cult? They have a song and they have merch. So I gave him a whole long thing.
Because it's a cult leader. There's a reason. Because it's a cult leader. So there's a cult.
Check this out. It says like this. Somebody wrote on a status, Reb Eli knocked that koifer out. Basically, my answer was a good answer. Now let me show you why these people made a shtickle of a chilul MDY. Here we go, Rabbi Yisai. Don't laugh too hard. This is in London at a Chasidum. And the guy goes, "Good morning, Rabbi Yisai."
That's a design.
It is.
That's a terrible picture.
Jonathan made him a chah. He goes, "It's a bezayin. It's a terrible picture of you." Very nice. No, I mean, seriously speaking, if I go to Simcha and they start, Eli Delinsky tried to pull that off on me. When I walked into the Siyum, he started playing, he's the keyboard guy, started playing Yomim. I told him to be quiet, otherwise I'll walk out. So I'm asking, please don't do that.
That's even a bigger dargo, godless.
Please don't do it when I'm there alive, and please don't do it when I'm there in a picture. Good Chodesh, Reb Eli. Reb Nachman's defense yesterday was not his first recruitment drive. Attached is a video he made me for my brother Avi. Actually, was the one who got me hooked on the world's most exciting and animated daf, but isn't yet a staunch MDYer like me. Looking forward to starting my 12th Masechta with you, Shimi Leafman. Here comes.
Avi, the only thing missing from this event was you.
Can you just go out?
How could you not be
on the day?
Get over
We
love
the
you.
best hall,
And we're waiting for you. The kids, there's nothing to talk about. Next Siyum, we're expecting to see you. That's all. And you come over to me and you tell me, because of that video, I'm here. That's it.
Having spent a few minutes with Reb Eli.
Shkoyach. Now, yesterday was basically my first status that I ever posted. Besides the one video that I posted by mistake, I didn't realize I pushed status. And my daughter called me up horrified. She goes, "Do you know what you just posted?" What? I didn't. What status? She goes, "Go in here, push this, press delete." Kitzer.
What did you post?
Some guy sent me a video of an explosion in China or something, and people are cursing. The people taking the video like a whole fireworks factory blew up in like 2 blocks, and the guy taking it like said some little pen, and I post this out that all my that's the first my first Shalom Aleichem to status.
This is why you should stay off.
Yeah, so when I posted Reb Nachman's status, take a look at what happened immediately in the first minute or two. Here it goes. These are all the people that took that video and reposted it to their friends within a minute. Okay. Shalom Aleichem, Reb Eli. Here's an email that Reb Nachman will want to hear. If he doesn't yet believe in the power and potential of status, maybe you will now. 6 of my friends signed up because of his status. No, I'm making that up. I put a clip of him in my status, and shortly after, Gav Hul, who I'm acquainted with through work, asked me to send Reb Nachman his best regards. If Gav would join the daf, he didn't say, but if Reb Nachman would do another clip with a shout out asking Gav knew, then who knows? Talking about a cult, I had the schus, thanks to you, to start something of Tchilas bandwagon. My 5-year-old son wears, I wear, my brother-in-law, his 2 sons, and a fantastic gift from Balmor, and even the bobblehead. I don't think one can be a true Stefansky chassid without it. Here's his little kid with tchelas, but here's more important, Reb Eli, the bobblehead with tchelas. Now that's something I don't have in my collection. That's for, okay. And here's Heshi Freeman from Boro Park, a Nazir on Purim, with the wine, with the mace, with everything. Do we have time? Okay, I'm cutting most of this out. This is a Dr. Seuss rhyme for Avi Gargir. I'm going to try to read it as best I can. I will not come to a live siyum. I'm reading from 3/4 in. I can't read the whole thing. I will not come to a live siyum even if I rent out Nassau Coliseum. I will not watch it live in RBS or with Chabura while I fress. I will not watch it live on Zoom. I will not watch it in a waiting room. I will not join Avi Gargir. I will not join Reb Eli Shir. Would you join us on a cruise while we sail the world, learn and drink booze? I will not join you on a cruise. I don't want to drink your booze. I will not come to live siyum even if you rent out Nassau Coliseum. The Kitzer, he says, try it, the rest of your day, it will perk. Avi, if you let me be, I will try it, you will see. He listens to it on 1.5 speed. Say, I do like Reb Eli Shir. Thank you for being a nudnik, Avi Gargir. I will listen on Zoom, I will listen in a waiting room, I will join live at RBS, and with the Chabura while I sit and fress. I will join you next live siyum, even if you don't rent out Nassau Coliseum. I will join you on your cruise, and I only drink tequila, so I'll bring my own booze. I listen every day on the way to work, and my whole life has changed. Oh, how many perks. I love it. I love Reb Eli Shir. Thank you, Avi Gargir. Reb Zush. Rabbi Isai, Peretz Chaim Levine, is going to have a booth in a mall, the Passaic Mall, Brookhaven Mall. So if you want to join him, help him out, Sunday, March 26th, the guy doesn't stop for a second. He needs to reach 500 people. Big part of it burned down. So on the part that's not burned, he'll be setting up his booth from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeshar Koyach. The Koilo is sponsored by Anon Ymous from Lakewood, Koilo of the month. Reuven Klein, in honor of my daughter Elisa becoming a college at Chaim NATO from Toronto. But boys, I want to tell the Ilam, yesterday, Yoshi worked over 12 hours. I know for a fact, over 12 hours for the new upcoming Nazir book. It's over 100 pages of the graphics and the art and the charts of this Masechta. So tremendous. If anybody is coming to the Siyum in Chicago, he will get one. I'm bringing myself about 150 copies to America. Exactly how people in America will get it, the people here will get one. I guess you could print it, there's a way to print it, and etc. I have to talk to Leon Welcher, who's sponsoring the print of this project, and ask him how many he wants to print for America, because I just got requests for Muncie and Brooklyn, etc. So it's a tremendous chazara. As I was going through it, it made me realize that we did the sugya of klal pratu klal. We conquered the sugya. Esther Kleinbart-Fogel said yesterday, the amount of sugyas, Tzful Yoim, Mechosiki Purim, just musagim and shas, crazy stuff. As you go through it, the Koilo is sponsored, I said this, by Reuven Klein and honor of my daughter Elisa becoming a college at Chaim NATO from Toronto. The Masechta is sponsored by Maaser. The Masechta is sponsored by Anon Ymous. Sponsor the month Anon Ymous from Flatbush for continued bracha, mazel, and clarity. Sponsor the month Landy Family, Nishmat Chaim Yeshעי, LeAliyat Nishmat Chaim Elefant, Chaim ben Ya'akov Shmuel Zechron Levrocha by his Westside friends. LeAliyat Nishmat Zechariah ben Moshe, partners of the day, Avi Estee Fogel in honor of Avi's 50th birthday, and MDY family member since yevamos. Second sponsor, Chasidum from Boro Park, ML, in honor of Nachman Seltzer giving a message on Reb Eli status. Yishkoyach, you made us $180. I really appreciate it. Nobody joined because of you, but $180, we'll take it.
I will do that again if it's going to bring in more money.
Really?
Are you?
Let's go. Take out your phone.
Not even a listen.
Okay.
Right.
Second sponsor, also by Esther Kleinbart-Fogel, in honor of our loving father and husband, Avi Fogel, on his 50th birthday. Second sponsor for Avi Fogel, Mazel Tov, welcome to the 50s. Fourth sponsor by Anon Ymous. Happy anniversary to my amazing wife, wishing us many more years together, Mitzvah Hashem. And the fifth sponsor of the day by Ben Schwartz for the shidduch of a great 35-year-old. Please contact Ben Schwartz at bensdds@gmail. If you have a great shidduch. Girl, it says 35-year-old girl needs a shidduch. I also have a guy. How about the barber? Rafal the barber. Maybe. Okay, who's your guy? Which Muslim? Yirmi Gold is still married.
No, his nephew. He's 35. Good guy. He works with the certified guy.
But she wants to live only in America, it says here. No, I have no idea. I have no clue. Okay, we'll talk about it afterwards. Great. Send in. Rabbi said, right before we start the shir, I just want to remind Olam. 8 days from now, we're starting Saita. If you enjoyed the shir, and you want to give back to the shir, you don't want to just be a taker and a fresser. You also want to give back. You want to show Akar Satoiv. Bring another guy. Pick up the phone. Make a video on your status. Share the joy with somebody else. Pay back Gary and Yosef, all these guys that work hard. They want these more, right? Yeah. Okay, we're doing a Givaldik Sugya today. Very interesting stuff. No. What's the message? Okay. Is it permitted to dress as a woman on Purim? Yes or no?
No.
Can you dress as a woman on Purim? Can a man dress as a woman? The Ramos says you could. So we're going to get into it. We passing that you shouldn't. Now, here's another question. Can a woman dress up as a man in a school play? Is it a problem with Silbash? Lo Yilbash. These are new Gemaras for boys that they came, they're in. If you live in Eretz Yisrael, we just started this year. Where are you going? Why are you going? Why are you flying away on me? You, pilot, Michael, what's going on with you? We just started. Oh, you got to tell him. Wake him up. The emails are over. He sleeps with the emails. Wakes up with the Torah. Here we go. You hear? What's a bigger problem for a woman to dress up as a man in a school play or a man to dress up as a woman on Purim? What's worse? No, what do you think? I can't read. This is way too much to read now. Sorry. If you want to tell me, Bekitz, what it says there. Is it permitted for a man to shave his eyebrows?
No.
His ears, his nose? You say no.
Yeah.
How about?
Here over here?
No, let's see your eyebrows. It's sticking out. It's 4 inches long. There's a guy here he's like a 2-inch eyebrow. You're allowed to trim. Not with a razor. Can you trim your eyebrows? That's right. That's the question. Trim your eyebrows. Is there a problem with Silbash? Women do it. How do you know?
If it's mafia you to live,
I don't know. How do you know that?
It's getting in the way.
Okay. How about your underarms? It's mafria.
If it's giving you pain, if it's hurting you.
What's worse, your underarm or your eyebrows? What's worse? What's worse? I'm asking you a question. What's worse, underarm or eyebrow? Eyebrow's worse. Okay. So it's a good thing you came today. Now, boys, here we go.
Same. What's worse when you see it? It's had that.
Okay, we're holding in middle of Daf Yomi Amud Beis. We have to finish the sugya. It's a 3-4 minute sugya, and when we're done with that, we will get into this sugya of Silbash. So, as you remember yesterday, very, very easy. Everybody, even Leon Welcher from South Africa, told me how beautiful and posh it was, and it was mamish. He was so made to this chart. He loved it. I think that's what he said. I know. So, there's basic and advanced. Basic means esse doiche lois esse. Advanced means esse doiche esse velois esse. That a mitzvah could push off an avera. That's the basic. That first, before you jump to something extreme, you have to do the basics. So we learned the first Mandamar in blue, he learns that idea from the word roishai that says by Mitzayra. The Torah didn't have to say roishai. It said the Mitzayra should shave all his hair, including his head. So for the fact that the Torah adds the extra word roishai, it teaches us this yesod that a mitzvah pushes off an avera. And the other Mandamar learns that idea from tzitzis. That you can put shatnez on your tzitzis. You do a mitzvah of tzitzis, it pushes off the avera of shatnez. The advanced, the one on the right, learns it from skana. In the same pasuk it says he should shave off all his hair, roishai, skana, gavesein of his eyebrows. Es kol sarai. It says it twice. Shave off all your hair twice. Why do you need to write skana? to teach us the advanced case. If a person is a Mitzayra, plus he's a Kayan, so now he has two things. He's an Asay and a Lois Asay. A Kayan cannot shave for two reasons, but he's a Mitzayra. He has to shave, he has a mitzvah to shave. The mitzvah of shaving pushes off two things that go against him. The mitzvah of not shaving and the Aveira of not shaving. Okay. And the other Mandama learns the advance from the word Roisha. So now the Gemara asks, Uman de mapik, smack in the middle of the daf. Uman de mapik, leilahai Roisha, leilav greda, according to the one on the right. Then he learns the word Roisha comes for the basics just for one lav, that a mitzvah goes and smashes the Aveira. Why does it have to say in the same pasuk the two words of Rosh and Skanai? What's the problem? Skanai, you learn advanced. Skanai is talking about a Kain and Mitzayra. But isn't Skanai also a Yisrael? Just a regular Yisrael that has a beard? And a regular Yisrael that has a beard cannot shave his beard. Why? Because he has an Aveira, a Lois Asay. So you have a Yisrael, you have a Kayan. You have two human beings. The Zakan is referring to all Jews. All Jews include a Yisrael that has a beard, and that's just an Asay against a Lois Asay. He's a Mitzari, he should shave his beard. And also part of the Jewish nation are Kohanim. And they have two things going against them. They have an Aveira and a Mitzvah. And the pasuk says both. Right over here, you don't say, well, start off easy. No, the Torah says your beard. It's talking to all of the Yidden. Yisrael, Levi, and a Kayan. Mashma lemitchi lav greda, umashma lemitchi loisa sevasei. It's talking about a Yisrael, and it's talking about a Kayan. Hilkach shakolhu vivo shneim. You can learn both ideas from the same word. Answers the Gemara, Kayin min Nazir LeAliyat shekain yeshnei b'she'ela. Now, if you look at the chart here, we have a major problem. We're talking about the one on the right, the blue. We're asking, why does the blue need the word Roishai and Skanai? What does he learn from Skanai? A Kayan who's a Mitzayra. What does he learn? Roishai, a regular Mitzayra. Answers the Gemara, because he cannot know a Nazir who's a Mitzayra. He doesn't even look. Does the word Nazir appear on the right column? It doesn't even appear on the right column. We're talking about the Mandamer that's in blue. So what's the Gemara jumping and telling me, oh, he can't learn a Nazir Mitzayra. Nazir Mitzayra is not even mentioned by blue, it's only mentioned in red. Therefore, Taisus switches the whole pshat here and says that basically, Roishai is advanced according to the Mandam on the right. You have to say that Roishai already teaches a Mitzayra who's a Nazir. So Nazir does appear in the right column. You see, all of a sudden, you see what I just did here? Nazir does appear there. And Skana is also advanced. Ask the Gemara, why do you need two advanced? That's what Taisus explains the Gemara's question. Why do I need Rosh and Skana? Why do I need two words to teach us the same exact halacha? One is the halacha that a Nazir Mitzayra should shave, and the other is the halacha that a Kayin Mitzayra should shave. Both of them have an Asay and a Lois Asay against one Asay. One Asay beats the Asay and the Lois Asay in two cases. Ask the Gemara, why do I need two cases? Answers the Gemara, because if it just said one case of a Nazir Mitzayra, I wouldn't know a Nazir Kayin. And if it just said a Nazir Kayin, I wouldn't know a Nazir Mitzayra. Therefore, I need two cases, answers the Gemara. What? Because each one has a chisaron. Each one is weak. Says the Gemara, Nazir Mikayin, well, it's just interesting words again. Nazir is Lashon Meshuna. Kayin min Nazir LeAliyat shekain yeshnei b'she'ela. You have this, you could go to a bensdds if you're a Nazir, and they can undo it for you. Obviously, a Kayin cannot undo his kahuna. Nazir Mikayin LeAliyat shekain lav shein shav bakol. And a Nazir you cannot learn out from a Kayin because it's a lav. What did we explain yesterday? Not that he's special, that he's a Kayin, but that he has a beard and a woman doesn't have a beard. It excludes all the women of the world. So it's not equal to all humans. And therefore, so time out. We have two situations that the Torah tells us that asay beats and asay and alois asay. What are the two situations? If a Metzora happens to be a Nazir, and if a Metzora happens to be a Kayan. So why don't I learn? And the Gemara says, I do not learn the rest of the Torah from these two. I can't. Why? Because each one has a weakness. But the Rishonim talk about it, because if you learn Gemara, you know that you could do a Tzad Shava, Memetzinu. Tzad Shava. You have two things, each one has a weakness, but the Tzad Shava Shabbat that the Asay pushes off an Asay and a Lois Asay. Okay. Don't you always have that? Okay, whatever. Ayin in the Rishonim. No, you can't. Esther does not push off Esther Veloisa in the Torah. Okay, brand new sugi Westside. Omarav, make a lodom called Gufa Betar. A person, the way the Gemara understands it now, is that a person can use a razor on his entire body besides his payas and his beard. He could shave off his eyebrows, whatever he wants. Meisvei. And that also includes, and the Gemara we're going to see today, there's two areas on a person's body that are the most severe. There's the biggest isser to shave them because it's the most similar to what women do, and that is Beis HaShechi and Beis HaErva. That's what women used to do, and that's the isser. More than anything else, ask the Gemara, Meisvei hamaver Beis HaShechi u Beis HaErva, if somebody removes the underarm, and Beis HaErva harei zeloika, it sounds like it's very different than the word mutter. Getting malchus, getting punished 39 lashes is different than, oh, you're allowed to shave whatever you want to shave. Says the Gemara, habetar habe misparayim. The isser and getting malchus is if you use a razor blade, habe misparayim, but if you use something that's not so close to the skin, or a misparayim, something different than a mashchis, a kli that's mashchis, then it's okay. As the Gemara of Rav Nami betar kol, he says mefurish, make al adam called gufoy betar. You're allowed to use a razor. Kaintar. He didn't mean kain like a razor. Now, if you look at the lashon, it bothered me right away because we had this lashon in this masechta, make al adam, that the Nazir could be mekel. Mekel always meant to us that he eased it. He didn't shave it all the way to the skull. He trimmed a trim. So maybe that's what he meant. Mekel with a tar, meaning kain tar, like he distanced it from the skin. Omar Reb Eli Stefansky. Even it seems like even with scissors, anyway. So, did anybody ever see in the beach in the mikvah somebody that shaved the underarm? I'm pretty sure I know I saw it once or twice. What? No, by from people.
Yeah.
You see it. Okay. Is it mutter or aser? It says over here that's aser. You get malchus for it.
Could have been because of something medical.
So we'll get into it a little bit more. Okay, it's medical, right? If it's medical, that also we'll see. What?
No. What's the halach?
Right, what's the halach? Meisvei. What?
Right. What's the halach? I'm saying, what's the halach?
Meisvei. Rabbi Yochanan says, Aser. Meisvei. Havar seir eno medivri Torah, elo medivri soifrim. How can you say you get malchus? It says it's with the Rabbanon. Says Gemara, my loy cannot be the command of the Rabbanon. Yes, the whole Isser is the Rabbanon, and you get malchus mardus, which means you get malchus with the Rabbanon. Nuntas Amud Aleph. Ikidamri Omer Reb Eli Barabba Omer Reb Yochanan Namaver Beis HaShechi Beis HaErva Loikim Mishum LeYilbash Gever Simlan Sisha. So Reb Yochanan says that you're over on LeYilbash Meisvei, because if you act as a woman, as a woman dresses, then you get malchus. It's a deraisa. Meisvei Havara Seir Eino Medivri Torah Elo Medivri Soifrim. You just told me that it's not a deraisa, it's not LeYilbash. It's just the Gzera D'Rabbanon. Who the Omar Kai Tana, the Sanya. He was like this other Tana. There is another Tana that says it's the D'Oraisa. He holds that Lo Yilbash is not referring to shaving. So what is it? Look at the Sanya Lo Yikle Gever Alisha. Shouldn't wear the vessels? The woman shouldn't wear the vessels of a man. What does that mean? What does it mean? It's just referring to cross-dressing, dressing as the other A man dressing like a woman dressing like a man. But the Torah explains, and the Torah says, Lo yiech li gever al isha, v'lo yilbash gever simlas isha, and the Torah says, Ki soyavas Hashem alikecha. It's an abomination. It's disgusting. What's so disgusting if a woman wears man's clothing? It's a toyeva. It's disgusting. So we have to explain what it means. Says the Gemara, I'll explain to you. Ve'en kan toyeva. If a man wears women's clothes and a woman wears men's clothes, it's not the worst thing. It's not the biggest disgustingness I've seen. Ella, the shadish lo yilbash simlas isha v'yeshiv ben anoshim. The reason why he's wearing the woman's clothing is because he's dressing up. He's pretending to be a woman, and he goes into their places and he mingles with them, and it brings to Navera. And she can also mingle with the men. And memelo what? So shaving the Beis HaShechi is not a teyeva. You can't say that shaving isn't included in what the Torah says. The Torah says don't dress as a woman. It doesn't mean don't shave like a woman, because that doesn't bring a man to mingle with women. You have to understand Pshat in the Pasuk. The Pasuk says, don't come to Navera through it. So if the dressing brings you to Navera, that's Aser. If shaving brings you to Navera, that would be Aser. But shaving doesn't bring you to Navera. If a person shaves their underarm, it doesn't bring you to Navera. It's just acting like a woman. So it's not Geferlich, says the Gemara, at this point. How do you know a woman should be a soldier? She shouldn't have a gun. He says it's not referring to clothing. It's talking about a kli. What's a kli? A man's weapon, his gun, a tank. But the Reb Yehuda Chassid says, obviously, if there's a war, then a woman, of course, goes to war. We need her to fight. It's pikuach nefesh. Pikuach nefesh doich hakol. Yeah, that's he brings. There's a time and a place. Sometimes you have to break the rules. Oh, so I'm not a Rav. You have to know how imminent the war is, what it is, where it is. If it's an idealistic thing, maybe not. If it's a danger thing, yes. How about being a cop? Probably not. I don't know. Oh, so he learns that the LeAliyat is talking about he shouldn't act like a woman, don't put on makeup, don't shave like a woman, don't do all the things that a woman does. That's the Isser, the Iraisa. So it'll come out that shaving underarms or whatever it is, acting like a woman, maybe trimming the eyebrows, is a Iraisa, according to him. Omer of Nachman bin Nazir Mutter. So he comes up with a wild chiddush. That if a guy is already at the Beis HaMikdash shaving his head with a razor, so he's permitted to shave his Beis HaShechi and Beis Erva, whatever he wants. What's the connection? Explain Tosfos. Because he's already ugly, he already has a 0 on his head, he looks weird, he's not worried about beautifying himself and using the Beis HaShechi. He's already Mr. Ugly, so what does he care? So obviously he's doing it for other reasons. And Memela it's mutter. That's what Rav Nachman says. Say no, it doesn't. It's not true. Just because he's already doing one isser, well, it's a mitzvah for him to shave his head. But once he's doing one shave, doesn't mean he should do another shave. Over there, we saw the underarms of Rabbi Yochanan. He didn't have hair there. What's going on here? Isn't that also it's Beis HaShechi? It's the worst of the worst. I remember, I couldn't find it today, but I remember that some say that Rabbi Yochanan lived to be 300 years old or something. But anyway, at any rate, he was so old that his hair was falling out anyway. Like I just heard, I don't know if this is Reb Gershon Edelstein, they say he doesn't have a beard already, basically. He's already close to 100 years old, and all the pictures you see are, when he's 70. I mean, today he's just, that's how it is. Machmas Zikna, it comes out. There's a person that had to come and get his malchus in front of Rebami. He did something wrong, they were going to give him lashes. Igloi Beis HaShechi, so they took off his shirt, as they do, to expose his back, his front, and they noticed he didn't take a shave. He has Beis HaShechi. That's it, he's potter for malchus. We're not going to give him malchus today. Why? Mashma, that everyone else used to shave the Beis HaShechi. I could tell that this guy has fear of Talmid Chachamim. So explains Rabbi Yankiv Emden, beautiful. Why am I giving him Malchus in the first place? Because he was over in Takanas Chachamim. He didn't care about us, Chachamim. But here's the biggest proof that he cares about us. In a private place, in his underarm that nobody saw, he's makbid like us. Oh, he gives us covet? Let him out with nothing. He took off his short shirt, he already had his bizyonis over here. That's enough for him. Shalom Yisrael. But you see here a very interesting thing. I didn't see anybody talk about it, but you see that if everybody shaves their beis hashechi, the underarm, then it's okay. If in a society that they shave the underarm, that's what it says here. They didn't have they said, oh, he's makbid like us chachamim, but the typical yid wasn't. Unless I'm just being medayik wrong. Okay. No, it's based on Ymous.
Probably because of lice.
Oh. Yeah.
Know what was going on over there. Yeah.
Fine. We're going to see more now. Really fine. Rav asked Reb Chia, are you allowed to shave with a razor? Also. You the rest of the bad. The beis hashechi, everything. But the beis hashechi, the amud, what am I going to do? It's going to grow so long and it's going to cause me difficulty and pain. You're the son of a tremendous gadol. Zman yeshloi. In the Mefarish, he uses different lashon. Gvul yeshloi. Kol zman shu gadol noisher. In other words, so let's see. I think there's a gevaldik in Mefarish here. If you look on the right side, it says gvul yeshloi, like in the middle of the page, middle of the amud. Gvul yeshloi. Lo iser. That hair is not going to grow indefinitely. It's not like the hair of a beard or whatever, or the head. Since it grows more than a person could take, and I thought it's a gevaldik side here, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu only gives a human being as much as he could take and suffer. Once it reaches that max, it comes out by itself. Mashma over here also, and I saw this mafurish in the Rishonim, the Martha talks about it. You know what we'll say right now? The Shulchan Aruch paskins that one is permitted to shave his entire body, everything he wants, provided that he doesn't use a blade, a razor, scissors, or something like that. There are those that argue on the Shulchan Aruch, the Rambam, etc. That's based on the Rambam. The Martha says that you're allowed to shave the beis hashechi, the underarm, if it creates a lot of discomfort. So he comes up with this idea of discomfort, but the Shulchan Aruch argues on him. The Shulchan Aruch says you don't need discomfort. You don't have to come onto a reason. The entire body you're allowed to shave without a razor. So you see there's a machlokes here, but you see the idea, that's the first time I noticed that there's an idea of discomfort. Like in this Gemara you see discomfort, but he kind of was doichem. But if it's embarrassed, not discomfort. The Martchi uses a lashon of busha. It's a busha for him. Like the guy, the famous line, the guy was in the swimming pool, and a hairy guy, and the lifeguard says, the guy with the sweater, can you please leave the water, or whatever. Okay, so if the mamish busha v'charpa that the lifeguard is saying things like that about you, maybe it's mutter. That's what the Martcha says. So anyway, let's just finish this. Could a person scratch off his beis hashechi? Use his fingers. He can't use a razor. Use a finger. It's awesome, and that's halacha in the Shulchan Aruch. What if he uses his clothing and he scratches through his clothing? And over here they say the thing about kinam. I'm pretty sure on the side, it says in the Mefarish. I'm pretty sure I saw kinam. Yeah, kinam. He says the Mefarish, like Reb Nachman was saying. So anyway, could you scratch it that the kinam should fall off during that? Your mamish itchy, but it's beis hashechi. You might pull some hair off. I saw a shaila, I didn't look at the end, but if a person has white hair and you're not allowed to dye the white and you're not allowed to pull the white hair, could you use a brush knowing that the brush might pull out those white hairs? They go, I didn't see the end of it. I'll go upon it. Huh? Yeah. Over here we're talking about davening. Let's say if it itches you during davening, you're allowed to shave it. So the bottom line is, if a person wants to, you're allowed to not shave, you're allowed to scratch. So if a person wants to trim his eyebrows, so they say that it's mutter, because women don't really trim the way men do. They have a different process. They pull it out completely, etc., etc. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach told the bacher who had a unibrow, one brow, he said it's a mum, and mainly it's mutter for him to shave in between. The Ramah says in Tafresh Tzadik Vav, all the way at the end of Tafresh Tzadik Vav, he says a man could dress up as a woman only on Purim. And the Mishabur brings, the Taz brings from the back that it's Aser, and we should get away from that minhag. It's a terrible thing. We shouldn't. So Reb Chaim Kanievsky says you should not dress up as a woman. The biggest problem I had, and I don't have a good answer, and if anybody has a good answer, is how in the world do girls in their play for school dress up as men? There's absolutely no heter. I couldn't find the heter for a girl to, under what? On top of their pants? Oh, if they wear, but to dress up with the beard and the this and the that, even though it's only girls, if somebody has a good heter, let me know. Without a skirt. Yeah, if they're not dressed up.
That people will think you're, that will think you're the other type. And if it's so clear,
that's one thing in the Gemara, but that's not how we pass it.
It's all women.
Yeah, all women, it's awesome. Awesome. Lo Yilbash. So the things we learned in Gemara, Kli Zayin, this, that, there's different things. Yeah. Don't base it on that one Gemara. What? Yeah. It says in the top pasuk. The pasuk I showed here. Look at this pasuk. Lo yechli gever alisha. It starts off. A woman should not wear men's clothing. That's what we said. We said one pshat, but that's not. That's and the other thing said. It's nothing to do with that. It's without that as well.
Everyone knows that who it is.
There's a sheet that says also daraisa. All right, says the Mishnah Daf Tes. Amud Beis, sponsored Atzlacha Varilei Ben Aliza Simcha Shena Masha. Aliza Simcha Shena Masha Bad Bracha Latzlacha with the Magid Shir, the members of the HBA group and their families. Says the Mishnah, sponsored by official Mishnah L'Refuas Avram Menashe Ben Chana Bracha Refuah Shleim. Meis Echad Mem. So, if you remember, we need new sponsors. Huh? Who's that kid with the hat over there? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? From where? From here? Local? Huh? Morristown, New Jersey. Well, I knew that he's from America. You know why? Because only Americans wear their hat wherever they go. It's unbelievable. I'm not making fun of Shalom. You could, but you notice nobody's. Forget it's good. America, dog. Yeah. Even in Bnei Brak, you know. Okay, fine. Rabbi said, if you remember this case, Dr. Factor bumped into Rabbi Turgeman in Lit. And he said, I noticed that one of you touched the skull. I don't know who it is. And then, okay, so we had a whole thing. What do you do? So what do? The Kitzur, they buy all the korbanos together, and they stipulate, they say, if me on the right, I was the one that touched it, so I'm going to bring all the korbanos I have to bring as a person that's tamei. And you bring all the korbanos as a person that's tar. And if it's you that touched it, you bring all the korbanos that's tamei, I'll bring all the korbanos that's tar. They wait 30 days, they shave their hair again for the second time, and they do it again. And they just stipulate. Says the Mishnah, check this out. What happens if this is the case right over here? This is the second thing. Okay, now, this is the case. You have to look carefully. And there's a sign here to come to the Chicago Museum. Did you notice what just happened? Lit disappeared, rest in peace, Lit. Should I do that again? Here we go. I saw you. Oh, he says Yishkoyach, and as he says Yishkoyach, boom. Rest in peace. So now, and then he says, Dr. Factor, do you want to be my Nazir? And Dr. Factor says, no way. So what happened here? Now we're left with one person. Does the halacha change? He doesn't have a partner to bring korbanos with. He can't stipulate. It's him and himself. So the Mishnah says yes. If Dr. Factor just fell asleep, I'm serious. I saw him watch the whole thing. Secondly, okay, that's it. Avi, come on. CPAP. Says the Mishnah like this. Reb Avi, did you get any people to join this year lately? That's why.
Actually, I got 50 people to do...
oh, that's right, Arvei Pesachim. That's true. Very good. Yeah, how many? 50. He was on a trip in Poland?
No, he's young, boys.
Up north? Oh, up north, and got 50 of them So wow, I also got them 50 of them back in the day to do Megillah. Okay, fine. Shema, what did you printed it for them?
I got it.
You got them and said, let's do Arvei Pesachim. Give out.
And I'm taking out to dinner and you're coming.
On your dime?
On my dime.
Wow. You hear that? Kol hakavod. But what are they going to do when they watch the shir and they see you falling asleep? They can say, this guy tells us to do it and he's schluffing away. So now you got to be mischazik. That's what. Okay, anyway, let's do this. We only have 2 minutes to do the whole Amud. It's not a problem. Let him find some other guy, a nice guy, that will take upon himself to be a Nazir with him, and he'll be the partner. And he'll say, same exact thing, Rabbi. If I'm Tameh, so I'm going to bring the Karbanis for Tameh. And you are going to be a Nazir today, a regular Nazir. But if Lit was the guy that touched the skull and Rabbi Turjuman and Tahar, so I'm going to be a Nazir today. I'm bringing the Karbanis today. You start your Nazirus after 30 days and take over from there. But it turns out that this volunteer actually has to do 2 consecutive Nazirusin because he doesn't know whether Rabbi Turjuman is Tameh or Tar, so he has to start out right away being a Nazir, and then he's a Nazir again. They bring a carbon, 1 carbon Tumah and the carbon is Tahara. And Rabbi Turjuman says, if I was the one in the story that touched the skull, Dr. Factor saw me touching the skull, Karban Tumah Shali, the Karban Tahara Shalcha. So I'm bringing this carbon for Tumah, and you bring the Karbanis of Tahara. But if I didn't touch the skull, it was Lit that touched the skull, and he's dead, Karban Tahara Shali, the Karban Tumah B'Safek. So I bring the carbon of Tahara, and the carbon of Tumah will bring B'Safek. So at the end of the day, if he wasn't Tameh, so Rabbi Turjuman was completely tar. So it comes out that after 60 days, Dr. Factor, the partner, is tar. And now they're bringing a tar carbon, but also carbonis for Tumah, which we don't really need. It's Misafik. So that's okay. We can bring certain carbonis Misafik. Why? Then in the beginning, when I brought the carbon, it was the carbon tumah was mine. The carbon tar in the beginning, that was for you, the partner. Carbon tarasi, and right now we only brought 1 set of carbon tar. It's for me. But if I was in the beginning tar, carbon tar is shaliv, carbon tumah b'safik. So I brought in the beginning a carbon tar and you, and also a carbon tumah b'safik. V'zeh carbon taraschan today, the carbonas we're bringing today is for you, the volunteer. Who is going to be foolish enough to do 2 consecutive terms of Nazirs just to help out the guy? So yesterday in the Koilel, David jumped up and he said, why not? I'll do it. For a friend. Would you shave also for that friend? Shave 0 for a friend? It's not such a big deal, he says. You do it. Yes or no? Yes, for a friend. Imagine me if I did it for my friend. You know how many people would leave the shir if I was completely bald? I don't think I could do it. I would do other things. You know what I would do? I would pay for skarbanos. Right. But I would not shave my head.
You would pay someone else to do it.
Yeah. So he says like this. He takes 1 out of each pair. Which one? Let's just see this here. Oh. Well, this is the wrong thing. I don't want to show this one. Let me see which one. Oh. Here, even if we go over here. You see this chart right over here? You have the korbanos on the right that are for Tumah. You have the korbanos on the left that are for Tahara. The korbanos on the right, they include a bird. So let him take one of the birds. Chatas ha'if, according to Taisis, take also the other bird. Take the chatas ha'if, and also you take, from the left side, you take the ayla. Very simple now. You see, if I was tamei chatas mechivasi, then I'm bringing the bird. I'm allowed to bring Nadava, why not? I'm allowed to bring a carbon to Hashem for no reason. Vim Tara, you see, and if I was Tar, then the Ayla came towards my Nazirus, v'chatos, and I'm allowed to, there's a stipulation that we spoke about it even in this Masechta, that the bird, chatos, you can bring even on a suffix. Then he counts 30 days. So maybe carbon tahara, he brings all 3 karbanis on the left. The oila, chatos, and shlamim, and vaymer. You see, if I was tamei, oila rishon in the dava v'zechayva. So what I brought 30 days ago was just an adava. Today, I'm sorry. The first oila was an adava. And today, all 3 are what I need to bring now. But if I was tar 30 days ago and I brought a sheep, then so my sheep was good then. And the oil I'm bringing today is in a dava. And what about the shlamim and the chatas? I'm bringing them today. So you hear what happened? The oil I brought 30 days ago. 30 days later, I bring a chatas and a shlamim. And one oil that's nothing to do with Nazirus is just a present to Hashem. Omer Yeshua. Vizushar Kabani, yeah, I said those words. And these are the rest. Omer Yeshua, Nim says maybe it comes out to 30 days apart. It's no good. Says the Gemara, it says the Mishnah, it's not a problem. No, you can bring karbanas 30 days apart. Let's just do these 4 lines. Says the Gemara Velaisi, but what is the problem? So what if they're 30 days apart? Rabbi Shua was a big thing here. Sometimes in order to get your Talmidim to listen and interact, you could play games with them. He admitted to Ben Zayma the whole time. You don't need to bring full sets of karbanas. You can bring one of each, one tameh, one tar, and stipulate like that, and that's it. But he wanted to see if they'll wake up and be mechaven to Ben Zayma. At the same time, he also knew that you could bring karbanas to chatzayim, a oila, one day, and 30 days later bring the chadas and the shlamim. Says the Gemara, Omer Rav Nachman, my levid lay, Rabbi Shua, l'dakye de lisru. Check this out for a second. Where's the picture? Let me get there quickly through here. Sorry. Over here. So, there's something called Tnufa, which we learned early in the Masechta, and it's in the book. What you do is, you take the matzah and the zroya, and your moilach, mevi, mala, umayrid, like a lulav. Up, down, left, right. No, he does it, but the kohen helps, assists him a little bit. He's there. The kohen is there with, his hands are underneath. Right. There should have been a kohen in this picture. Correct. So the way Tais explained it, since we're dealing with 2 people, there's this doctor factor and Rabbi Turjaman, until each one does the tnufa, and it's a whole process. The kohen is busy with this one and busy with that one. The zroya, the chaylev is going to go bad. It's going to spoil. According to Ben Zayma, there's only one person involved, so it's not going to go bad. Again, it's Kedei L'Chadudei. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. Bring your friends. Don't forget to make that phone call and that status.